Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Dubai, Season 1, Episode 10. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Caroline is at home with Sergio, packing with the lizard on her shoulder, child. She's become attached to the lizard. It was a present. So here we are. So we got a lizard over on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and a lizard over here in Dubai. And if you listen to my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills review, you already know what a lizard is over there. So she planned a girls' trip to Nuria Island. She said it's her favorite place to go, and she said, it's one of the places that she wants to take the ladies so they can bond. So she was like, it's important for me to have girl time and just not be around Sergio all the time. So Sergio is acting like one of her kids when mommy wants to run errands without them. Can I go? Can I go? No, you cannot go to Target with me. Okay, I want to go down aisle to aisle to aisle, honey, and you be hollering. So you got to stay home. He's like, please, can I go? I can drive you there, please. Sergio, you don't have friends? Like, it's unhealthy, the amount of codependency that's happening. Like, I know you're thinking, oh, my husband really loves me. No, I don't mind my husband wanting to spend time with me, but his identity is wrapped up in Caroline. Like, it's like he wants to skin her and wear her. It's just weird. In the next scene, Sarah and Brooks, they meet in the desert. When I tell y'all, this was so fabulous to me. I don't know what it was about it, but it was so simple, yet so fabulous. I don't know if it was because of the way that they were shooting when they were riding, on the bikes through the desert. I was like, yes. I don't know. I just loved it, honey. I loved it. So she said she feels like Brooks is a great person, so she wants to ride in the desert to get a chance to talk to her. They got to sort some things out. I feel like these two, I feel like they like each other, but it was just a big, huge miscommunication. But I will say this, honey, that looked fun as hell. I was like, oh, I can't wait to go to the desert and ride on a bike, honey. I want to be bike riding in the desert. So then they stopped to have a picnic, and Sarah is telling Brooks that, she cares about her, and that's why she hugs her for so long, and she really wants her to know that she's cared for. And she's like, I'm going to be there for you no matter what. So Brooks is like, listen, you got to come in slow when it come to me. Like, you can't move too fast, because if you do, then I'm going to retreat, because I've built up a wall. She's built up a shell. So Brooks is basically telling her after she got divorced, she built this wall up. And I can relate to that. It's hard for me to trust people, especially men. Like, it takes a while for me to warm up to people. So I actually did relate to Brooks when it came to that. And she was just basically saying that her husband let her down, with all the lies and deceit. And she really thought things were going to go a different way, but they went the way that they went. And that shaped how she deals with people moving forward. So basically, they were able to talk it out and move on from it. And Sarah was able to get to know a little bit more about why Brooks is the way she is. And I was here for the open communication of it all. I like the fact that they let bygones be bygones. Sarah sat down with Brooks. They talked it out, and all is well. Moving forward. It's the day of the girls' trip, and they all meet to get ready to leave, right? Baby, they hop in these Rolls Royces to head out. That's what I'm talking about. Forget the SUV, forget the Sprinter. That's what I'm talking about. Separate Rolls Royces. Okay, honey. I need that kind of opulence while traveling. Now, I know we all give Marlo a hard time, but she did try to do something like this that episode when they went up to Blue Ridge. She did send separate fancy cars for the heifers. So I like it. I'm here for it. Moving forward. So they arrived to the island to a fabulous boat, honey. Champipple. Yes, I know it's champagne. Champagne, and they're drinking. They're about to ride over to the accommodations. So Chanel is singing some kind of song, honey, she made up, child. The voice is giving piercing. I was like, oh, Chanel, please be quiet. Like, I like Ayan, but baby, them songs, honey, ooh, child, absolutely not. But I have to say this, if it wasn't for Chanel, they would all have been riding in silence. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. And I don't know what was going on with Lisa this episode. She didn't really say much. She was really like, these people are really getting on my nerves. Honey, my central nervous system is thumping right now. They're getting on it. But anyway, they get to the house. It's gorgeous. Caroline was saying that the villa that they're in is $50,000 a night. Now, I'm listening to her, and she said kings and prime ministers have stayed there. But baby, for $50,000 a night, you got to have way more than 5 bedrooms. Like, what? All of that money for one night, and you only got 5 bedrooms? The math ain't mathing, honey. It's not mathing. So they're being shown to their rooms. Sarah took the one with the bunk bed. She's like, I'm going to take the top bunk. Girl, why are you taking the top bunk in a room you're only sleeping in by yourself? Oh, child, this is a fool. But she said she did that to alleviate all the fussing. She was like, I really don't want to get into it with these ladies. So you know what? I'm just going to take the bunk beds and they can do whatever it is they want to do. And I'm with you on that because nobody wants to be fighting over a room. So then they were shown to Ayan's room. She jumping out on the bed with her outside shoes on. Here go, Nina. Stop, not with your outside shoes on. Come on, Big Bird, Big Bird. I'm like, okay, I don't like that. Now I know it's, she trying to be funny and Ayan might not be catching on, but for me, I don't like the Big Bird. Don't call that woman Big Bird. I don't like that, Ayan. I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Now I know you ain't over here on this review, but Brooks has listened a time or two. So Brooks, take this over to Ayan. Tell her that it's not cute that Nina calls her Big Bird, okay? And tell her I sent you. Moving forward. So after they come from Ayan's room, they go on over to Caroline's room. And as the host, I expected for her to have the best room. So then we go to Lisa's room. Now, Lisa's room is beautiful, right? And I could tell that Caroline still don't really fool with Ayan because why she get a room with twin beds? And I was also wondering, why didn't Ayan and Lisa share a room? If she got a room with twin beds and there's only 5 bedrooms, why did Nina and Caroline share a room when she could have simply bunked with Chanel and given Nina a separate room? I don't know, child. I just don't know. So Ayan is basically saying how pretty the room is, and Brooks is like, dang, get your face out of Lisa's ass. And Chanel is like, she's my friend. So Brooke goes, well, she's my friend too. So child, now they fighting over who is more friends with Lisa. That's what they fighting over. Who is more friends with Lisa? Lisa was like, me and Nina, we used to be the closest in the group. And I feel like she's latching on to Caroline because now I'm closer to Ayan. I would have never guessed that Nina and Lisa were closer than her and Ayan. I would have never guessed that. So on the other side, the melanated queens, honey, they still fussing. Y'all pipe down. Brooks thinks Chanel is giving Hoover vacuum, honey, because she's sucking up to Lisa. She can't move left or right because Chanel gonna be right there. Chanel loves Lisa, Brooks. It's called friendship. Like, let them be friends. Why do you care? It's giving I want a BFF of my own. It's giving jealous of the friendship. Leave these women alone. So these two are fussing, and you can hear through the whole house, child. Oh, child. You hear Brooks, you hear Ayan. You hear Ayan, you hear Brooks. Meanwhile, Lisa not saying nothing. She's so irritated because she feels like when the two of them get together, all they do is fuss. In the next scene, it's time for dinner. And baby, I need these hoop earrings that Lisa is wearing. When I tell you I love me a big pair of hoops, now you know what they say about the hoops. The bigger the hoops, the bigger the... Okay, but that ain't the case over here. I just love the aesthetic of hoops, honey. Oh, yes, get into it, baby. That was everything to me. So they all get to the dinner. And Chanel sees Sarah in her PJs. She was like, girl, what are you wearing? Oh, honey, put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home. When Ayan looked at Sarah, ooh, child, the ghetto. Honey, she could not believe that she was down there in them PJs. Baby, when I tell you Sarah got up to change her clothes, she was like, okay, let me get up and change, honey, because the heifers is outshining me. So Chanel said in her confessional, oh, you got to be careful who you're friends with. You might pick up their fashion sense. Moving forward. So they begin to eat dinner, and they're just talking about Caroline and Sergio's relationship and if she's learned any Spanish words. And she said he always teaches her the bad words or whatever. So they're talking about that. So Ayan was like, I did judge your relationship. I was just trying to figure out how it was going to work with him being so young. But, I apologize for it. My bad, girl. Now, I felt like that was very big of Chanel to admit that and to apologize to Stanbury. And I think that made Stanbury happy as well. So, the two of them are getting along great. Everybody seems to be getting along except, Brooks and Ayan when they feel like fussing. And Ayan was just saying in the confessional that she wants Caroline to be happy. She's like, I want her to be happy too. And I want to be happy around her. So while they're eating, some Arab dancers come over to perform a traditional dance called Dapke. So they're dancing and whatnot, waving this white towel in the air. Everybody's up. They're dancing. They're all having a good time. I'm like, I love to see it. So after that's done, they get in their pajamas and they decide to play Never Have I Ever. Can we get through one franchise of any show without playing Never Have I Ever? But y'all, here we go. So they explain the game to Ayan, and then they start playing, right? Because you know Ayan has never played it before. So the first one was Never Have I Ever Had a One Night Stand. Caroline took a drink. Then Brooke said, Never have I ever slept with someone else's boyfriend. So she was like, yeah, I didn't sleep with someone else's boyfriend. I slept with someone else's husband. And girl, that ain't cute. Oh, child. Let me know you can't be trusted, honey. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husband. Honey, you can't be trusted. So then Lisa was like, okay, let's switch the game up. We're going to play 2 truths and a lie. So Lisa said, you say 2 things that are true and then 1 thing that's a lie. And then we have to figure out which one is the lie. So Lisa said hers is, I have my clitoris pierced. I had sex with 10 guys and I used to be a stripper. So the lie was she used to be a stripper. But baby, Lisa said her whatnot is pierced and it has VVS diamonds down there. She gonna be rocking VVS stones, I let you go. Honey, it's giving ring the alarm. Shout out to Beyonce. Girl, not VVS stones. Now, me personally, okay, this is just me. Now, I'm not a prude, but I don't need to know what you have down below pierced, honey. I didn't need to know that. Like, it could have stayed in the vault. It really could have. I mean, but I'm sure you and your husband having fun with that, honey. I bet that was painful as hell. Woo! Ooh, child. So in the confessional, this was funny to me. Now, y'all might not find it funny, but I thought this was funny to me. Caroline said, a VVS 1 diamond down there, I can't imagine that it's pretty. It's the thing nightmares are made of. That was so funny to me. Because I'm like, girl, not the thing nightmares are made of. She is so dramatic. So then it was Brooks' turn, right? Brooks said, I have 3 children. I got cheated on in my previous relationship and got $1 million settlement. And I dated a president-elect. I'm starting to think something wrong with Brooks. I really am. Like, I don't know if I don't know what it is, but something's wrong with her. Ma'am, we obviously know that you don't have 3 children. Okay, so that's a given. You were just fussing and fighting with Sarah about the one that you do have. And you were trying to send him away to the boarding school, child. So we know you don't have 3. Okay, so what are you saying? And I thought you said you left your relationship with nothing. Like, that's another lie. So which one is the lie, ma'am? Which one is it? So she was like, well, I did date a president-elect because I felt like I should be a first lady. I felt like I deserved that. And, you know, I felt like he was my soulmate and whatnot. But it didn't work out because he was married. Well, a wife will usually cause a divide. Girl. And again, Brooks cannot be trusted. So now we know Brooks is about that side piece life, honey, and she ain't fooling me. So then they play this balloon popping game using their bodies. It was nice to see a scene play through with absolutely no drama. It was very refreshing. Like, some people thought it was boring, but I like the fact that they got together and didn't get to fussing, and all's well that ended well. In the next scene, it's the next morning, and Ayan is getting her makeup done, and she's telling the artist about her and Brooks's up and down relationship. Ma'am, this lady don't care about Brooks. She don't care about you, and she don't know either one of y'all. Anywho, so then all of them came down for breakfast, right? So they start to talk about spirits. So then Lisa starts to say that she believes in spirits not being settled after death if there was something going on before they died. So she's telling them that her cousin, who was like her brother, he was shot and, unalived. His friend is the one that did it to him, and nobody knew where the friend was. Like, they could not find him. So Lisa was basically saying that she was having dreams and she dreamt where he was, and she solved the case even though her husband didn't think it was real. Like, he thought she was crazy. He thought she needed grief counseling. He thought she was losing it, basically. She was like, I had become obsessed with it, but I pinpointed the exact spot that he was in, and that was Buffalo, New York. So basically, she was able to solve it by just her dreams because her cousin / brother would not let this go because his spirit was not at ease. It wasn't at peace. So she was like, I just feel like I can't really experience true happiness because if anyone else leaves, I never want to be that sad. I was like, oh my gosh. I am so sorry that you feel like that. Like, I have yet to have someone really, really close to me passed away. But I cannot imagine. Like, I know that had to really, really hurt her, but you can't detach from people for fear of them dying. Like, I truly hope that she can be at peace someday, and I hope that she's continuing to go to counseling and some type of therapy, because that's tough. Moving forward. So she said that's what led her to believe that spirits roam when they're unsettled. So Caroline tells them what they're going to be doing for the day. They're going to be doing rosé all day and a wave pool that her kids like to do, honey, aka Sergio. And so Ayan is like, I'm afraid of water. I might not get in it, but I'm going to watch out. And I got to say this, I don't do water either, Ayan. I'm with you. I will wear a bikini for the pictures and the boys, but I'm not getting in the water. It's not going to happen. Absolutely not. So the ladies go bike riding to the beach, and they have a shot of tequila. Then they head to the wave pool. And I'm going to just say that the wave pool actually did look really fun. It didn't look too scary, so I feel like I could do that. But the way they were slamming that wall, I was like, ooh, I know that back is toe up. So then after they leave the wave pool, they get in another body of water, honey. I don't know what they're doing, child. It seemed like they're having a good time, so let's move on. So it's time for dinner. Everyone is dressed like they're going somewhere different. I'm like, what? Baby, Ayan, normally you get it right, or you at least look cute. You got it wrong this episode. At that dinner, that was a fool. I don't know what you were wearing, but it wasn't right. Okay? It just wasn't right. So they sit down at the table, and Ayan brings up Sergio making a crying video because Caroline is gone. So here go Nina. Well, you know what? He's doing two things. Number one, he's giving the love that he wants to receive. Number two, God sent him to make up for everything that you've gone through. And then Nina was like, and number three, she manifested him. I was rolling my eyes so hard. I'm like, Sarah, shut up. Sergio is acting like Caroline is his mama, and she dropped him off at daycare for the first time ever. That is codependency, honey. What you talking about? That's not what's happening, honey. She'll be back. Him crying is ludicrous, and not the one from the ATL. Girl, goodbye. Girl, go on, honey. Go on, honey. So Caroline Brooks is like, she's like, girl, what's the blueprint? I need to know. So Ayan's like, girl, you young. You don't need her blueprint. You fine. So Caroline goes, well, you know what? It takes a special woman to make the next man invest in her. So Sarah pipes up again. She's like, but she can do it on her own. Now, I do agree with that. You don't need a man to do, what you need to do. You can do it for yourself, but it's nothing wrong with having a man, cater to you as well. So I see both sides. So Caroline's like, yeah, but why not take the help? It's not black and white. Sometimes, you just want to be taken care of. So Sarah feels like if a man pays there for you, then he's going to feel like he owns you. And I have to agree with that. There's a level of control when you don't own anything and you don't have control of your own finances. There just is. So then Chanel brings up her marriage, and she's like, well, my husband been taking care of me my entire life, and I love it. Like, is that the same thing? That's like your husband pays for you? So Caroline is like, no, Ayan, that's not the same. She's like, have you ever owned a business? Because there's a difference between an investment and a dependent person. I don't know how you sit up here trying to tell her what's the difference between somebody being an investment and being dependent when your dependent man is at home making Instagram reels with him crying into the child. I ain't got time. I really ain't got time, child. So Ayan looks at Caroline and she's like, I own my own business. I am a businesswoman. So child, she just starts going off. Ayan was like, this is the second time that you have asked me what I do. So she's running down her accolades, and Caroline is like, okay, shut up. Okay, now I know you want to say what you got to say, and she is over talking you, but honey, don't tell me to shut up. Shut up was not the right word. You could have said, Ayan, please just listen to me for a moment. Ayan, quiet, honey. Less talking, more listening. I know the people don't like Stanbury, but in this instance, I do not feel like she just wanted to have a fight. I don't feel like she was trying to be rude to Ayan. I really don't feel that way. And quite frankly, I'm confused as to what y'all fussing about. So Caroline's like, okay, shut up. I know you run your own business. This wasn't to tear you down. And Ayan is like, you could never tear me down because I'm always on top. You want to be on top? It's giving America's Next Top Model, honey. But what is happening, child? Like, is she mad because she feels like Caroline is being condescending and only sees her as a dumb model stereotype? Like, I normally don't side with Stanbury, but Ayan, I feel like you're overreacting. I really do. She's like, I'm way more successful than you, by the way. Child, and then it was to be continued. I'm like, oh, Lord, I knew the piece was too good to be true. And that was the end of the episode. Ayan, we almost made it to the finish line. Why are you arguing with Stanbury? She triggered you. Yes, this is true, but I don't think she was trying to be malicious. I really don't. I think she was just trying to get her point across in the way that she was feeling. I don't know. Y'all comment down below and tell me what you thought about this episode. I thought that it was a refreshing episode, honey. Coming from Beverly Hills, just sitting there watching. It was an easy watch. I watched it, went and got a refreshing beverage, came back, did the review, and we're done. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.